Hello everybody, welcome to exploring a new release here at SpacesEDU. We are today going to be exploring October's release. My name is Tatiana. I'm the Education, Training, and Engagement Specialist here at SpacesEDU. I'm very excited to show you what we just released last month, all the new enhancements, and what you can also look forward to in our next release in February. So our October release included lots of updates made to the portfolios tool, to the reporting space, the growth book, and the proficiency report. So those were the main focus this time around. When it comes to portfolios, you now have the ability to filter by class and grade from the portfolio grid in your teacher account. So this does make navigating the table much easier for you. It's a very streamlined process to be able to filter through all that information, especially if you are responsible for large groups of students. In addition to the filter elements, we have added one small tweak to the way posts are visible within the portfolios. There are now section tags included within the portfolio. Let me show you what that looks like. Jumping in right now into portfolios for my teacher account, I'm going to show you first the filtering elements that are now visible right next to the search bar. By clicking this, we can easily filter by class and even by grade level if we want to. So we can go like this, just as an example, to be able to view students from our class list. By exiting this, I also wanted to show you the post examples that are now including section tags. Over here in my sample portfolio, you'll see that posts now have essentially a little sticker that indicates where in the portfolio the post was created. So it is making it much easier for you to identify the competency or the skill associated with the post. So those are the two main portfolio updates. And now moving on to the reporting space, specifically within the administrator account, we understand here at SpacesEDU that BC schools are required to report on students' attendance when it comes to report cards. So in this new update, your administrators will be able to import attendance data via CSV or SIS Sync. Our Director of Technology, Doug, has already communicated this information to administrators. So all of that, the instructions, so the steps required are listed in that email, but this is essentially what the printout would look like and the reporting space summary as well. It will contain the attendance right at the top there, outlining any absences, any tardies, and just a total for the attendance data as well. So make sure if you're an administrator that you're checking your email for all that important information. And if you wish to move forward with attendance sync, please respond to Doug's email and follow all of these steps outlined. Furthermore, as part of the reporting space update, the administrator account now displays even more information when it comes to reporting space visibility. So this is accessible through the classes tab here within your administrator account. There is now a column for reporting space visibility, as you'll see here. So it gives you a quick glance at the visibility settings for students and families. So administrators will still need to enter the class to change the visibility settings. They can do this by clicking on the reporting space icon right here and making those changes accordingly through these two buttons on the top right corner. So you can make this information visible for students and families from there. But now you at least have visibility into how teachers are progressing with the reporting space for settings specifically. There will be more updates made to just administrator formal review here within the reporting space. We understand that administrators have a huge role when it comes to approving report cards, so we are going to make sure that enhancements are taking into consideration for future releases here. And just another quick update I wanted to address and show you when it comes to the actual reporting space is this little toggle that we've included here to expand all the descriptions within the reporting space summary. So now you can read the paragraphs in their entirety and have access to that information right off the bat, as opposed to expanding those elements one by one. So to further align with BC curriculum, we have included a new proficiency here for insufficient evidence. So educators now can include insufficient evidence as part of a proficiency score. So if a specific post, activity, or growth book entry cannot be assessed, this is now going to be an option if your district or your school has decided to enable this in the back end. But at least you will have the ability to indicate if it's insufficient, if it contains insufficient evidence. So this is going to at least exclude any posts with insufficient evidence from proficiency calculations. So it really is going to ensure that these types of scores are not going to affect your average or your most recent proficiency levels through the proficiency report. I will say the majority of our BC partners have decided to toggle this on. However, if you're not seeing it as an option, chances are that your district or your school has decided against it. You may want to just confirm with your administrators if you're not seeing it here as an option on your scale. As you'll remember, in our most recent update or release, we had launched our proficiency grade book called the Growth Book. So in this second iteration, we were able to include even more enhancements here, particularly when it comes to overall proficiencies. This is again going to be enabled by your district to allow teachers to apply an overall proficiency score for each growth book entry. So you're going to be able to use your professional judgment whenever appropriate here, and this will apply to any entries within the growth book, including any of your activities. As you'll see here, the very last column will indicate overall. So you will be able to click in on that box and then make a professional judgment from there what the overall proficiency score should be. Again, if you are not seeing this column as an option, this will mean that your district or your school has decided against this feature. Again, it's best to just confirm with your administrator in that case if you're not seeing this on your screen. Another update that I'm really excited about here within this growth book are keyboard shortcuts. So these shortcuts are in the top right corner. You're able to see through this window here how first of all to activate keyboard shortcuts, and also which keys you should be pressing to make sure that you're initiating the appropriate workflow here. So as you can see here, it does say to click any cell to start, and then you can press escape or click again to activate the keyboard shortcuts, and then you'll use these letters to assign the corresponding proficiency level. So for me personally, what I like to do is just double click on a cell until it is highlighted here, or the border is in blue. And then from there, I can apply a proficiency score by clicking or typing the corresponding letter. So here we have proficient for extending its X, and then so on and so forth. So very quickly, you can navigate from top to bottom. You can even do a backspace to delete any proficiencies. So allowing you to not, to eliminate a couple clicks as you go, and you can make those changes really easily as well within the growth book here. And speaking of growth book entries, we are now finally syncing growth book entries to the proficiency report. So previously, this was limited to just proficiencies that were applied to posts. But in this new update, we will be introducing growth book entries and activity submissions even before they are officially posted to the space. So the proficiency report will have or maintain rather data integrity here, and really increasing visibility of all proficiencies assessed within your classroom. And as you just click on the box, if there are any assessments that are not associated with a post, this will be indicated in the top banner. So you'll know that this is either a growth book entry or even an activity that was not posted yet. But the tally is still accurate here on the right hand side, so you can see the corresponding proficiency score for that specific curriculum tag as well. So previously, this information was not communicated, but now we're able to provide you with a full picture of how your student is doing, and you have a better understanding of their progress as well. So that wraps things up for the October release. Lots of great new updates, especially when it comes to quality of life. And there's more to come in February as well, where we will essentially be focusing more on the portfolios. So administrators will have access to view student portfolios from their own accounts, and your students will have access to presentation mode as well to better support and engage students to present their best work within portfolios. So this will have a dedicated presentation mode available. So this will streamline the process for students in your districts that require a presentation component for initiatives such as defenses of learning or capstone presentations. So I'm really excited to show you this in February once it is released. And again, when it comes to reporting space and administrative support to help with the formal administrative or administrator review aspect of reporting, your administrators will be able to sign off on the reporting space PDFs just before they share it with students and families. There will be a bunch of new functionalities involved as well. You'll be able to mark students' reporting space as reviewed so that teachers can begin sharing with families and students. So more information to come in February, where I'll go through all of these quick little updates in one of these recordings so you can see them in action. What I do recommend is that you explore your own accounts as well, just to see what the updates feel like, get familiarized with the workflow. So again, you may want to open up your account, take a look at the growth book, the proficiency report, the reporting space as well, if you have access to all of those tools. And finally, the portfolio tool too. But before you go, I do invite you to listen to our podcast. We are now in season 3 of Growth Over Grades with our very own Jordan Lewis, who is the host of the podcast. Feel free to also keep in touch with us on socials. We are on Twitter, Facebook, and of course, wherever podcasts are streamed, all streaming platforms. If you have any questions about these updates as you are exploring, please feel free to contact our support team at hello@spacesedu.com. And as you have more ideas or inspirations that come to you, I would recommend bookmarking here our product roadmap, which is located on our website. So if you head on to spacesedu.com and scroll all the way down to the footer, under company, there's a section for product roadmap. So by clicking on this, you'll be able to see elements that have already been launched. So more information on our October release is on this page. You can also see what you can look forward to in future releases in the coming soon tab. But of course, if you have anything on your wish list that you wish to share, that can be done through the Submit Idea button here in the top right corner. Feel free to be as detailed as you like, and also identify how important this update or this enhancement on your wish list is, and of course, providing your email address if the product team needs to do any follow-ups with you. I do want to thank you again for joining me today, watching this little recording on our October release, and happy exploring.